All right, well, we're gonna set up your machine today and get it all shipped out. So I want to show you some of the first things that you'd be doing. You've got right here, this is your hot plate. And it's called a hot stamp machine because things get hot. So be careful. You've got 4 bolts that you're going to loosen on the machine. Don't take them all the way off, just loosen them. And you got a little wooden handle that won't get hot, and you're going to screw that in right there, and you can slide out the plate, and that's where you're going to have all your dies. So as you're looking at it, all your dies, you've got 2 dies. You've got your do not cut and your remove before use dies. They're going to be right here. They'll be right here. So loosen these 2 screws, put on this one, tighten it up if you're going to change between the 2, and look at how this slides right here on this little dovetail. And when you do it, try to make sure the dovetail plate is even with the front of that plate right there, so that those 2 are lined up together. The hot plate and then your in and out dovetail plate, because it'll affect how it stamps onto your part. All right. So once you get that in there, tighten these up tight. So that your dovetail plate's secure. And then screw this wooden handle out and put it off to the side when you're stamping. So right here is your on and off switch. Right here is your temperature controller. Seems like 380 degrees was stamping really good with the white and the black foil. The nylon is a hot material, but if you for some reason want to change it, you push this button right here on the end, and here is your up and down button. But I'm going to leave it at 380. All right. Now this controller right here, you see that 40, that was taking care of all the different cycles. So you can use this to keep up with the number of counts that you are wire ties that you have stamped. So to reset that, just hold that button and it goes back in. This button right here, you push it 3 times, 2, 3, 0, that's your counter. First one is how long the head stays down onto the part when it's stamping it. The second is when the motor kicks in, a little delay before it indexes. And the next one is how long the motor stays on and turns the foil. And you can adjust those up and down right here, up and down. So a universal controller, and there's no enter. You just leave it there, and then you can index to go back to the counter. And when you put on you're going to have these rolls of foil. They're going to go onto here, They're going to go on to that little ramp. You're going to take your other one. It's going to go on to a little ramp right here. Spacer, spring, and clamp. And push it in, you know, about halfway. Have a little pressure. Alright. And then you take your foil, you run it underneath that bar. Be careful, it's hot. Come around over under this bar. You go over this bar right here. And if you push it in just a little bit, you can see it start to go through. Got a little piece of foil. You can see it start to go through. And then you take it back up top. Just like that. Alright, and then you're going to come in with a little core, and I'll give you a couple. I'll give you a whole core that you can cut up into 1-inch pieces, or every time you finish a roll of foil, you're going to end up having a 1-inch core that you can use. All right, and then take some tape. And tape that to the core, and then rotate it like that, and then you'll be ready to go. So I've got one of your pieces here. Whenever you're not stamping anything, and there's a possibility that the air back here could be disconnected, the head's going to come down and could damage the die. So whenever you're off for the night, whatever, just take a little piece of rubber, just leave it right there, so if the head does come down, it doesn't damage the stamping die. And you can see where your air comes in right here. Take a look at that right here. You want that air pressure to be standing, you want that to be standing straight up. And you can lock it down right there. All right. So there's plenty of adjustability on the machine. I'm not sure that you're going to really use it, but I'll show you a few things. So this morning, you can see where this fits right into the groove right there. You got 2 buttons, so nobody gets their hand under there. All right. Now see how it's off a little bit? Just because you're never going to get that plate in the same place every time. I need to, if you buy another machine, I'm going to have to figure that out. But what you have right here is you loosen that, and you want to take this handle here and you'll move this forward a little bit, and then come stamp it again, see where you're at. Still a little bit high. Move it in again. All right. And there you go. Maybe just a little hair up, I guess. There you go. Can't beat it. And then once you do that, lock this down. That's your front and backwards. All right, so you lock that down. Here, this knob right here would adjust it side to side if you want it to be somewhere other than there. And then if you wanted to move it side to side, which I don't think you will, you can unloosen these bolts right here and go side to side. And if for some reason it was higher up here and lower down here, you can use these bolts right here to skew the whole table. But I don't think you're going to. So I'm going to tighten those down. All right. And there you go. All right. So we're going to be getting this out of here today or tomorrow. It'll be at your place by Tuesday. And like I said, just remember, if you ever, for the night, just kind of put this piece of rubber under here in case the head comes down when the air shuts off, so you don't ruin your die. If you have the die smash up against the fixture and there's not a part in it, it could damage the die. If it comes down and there's a part in there and it's still hot, it might melt it. So be careful of those things. All right, so I hope you enjoy this, and you got my number. So if you got any questions, give me a call, and we'll get this boxed out of here, boxed up and shipped to you today or tomorrow. Any questions? Give me a call. Thank you.